Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Bryant with SFFT Source, your premier unofficial guide to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. We're finally here for Fright Fest 2019 at Fiesta Texas. This is going to be a jam-packed video. We're actually here during the day, obviously. We'll kind of show you what everything looks like during the day. We'll show you what kid activities there are. And then, of course, later on at night, things are going to get spooky. We'll enjoy a lot of the Fright Fest shows. They have a lot of new shows this year. Sit back, buckle in, I guess, if you're on the couch. I don't know, does your couch have buckles? And we're gonna head into the park now. So right as you walk in front gate, you're going to see a sign that says that your Fright Fest haunted house passes are sold here. Yes, they are not free this year. So you can pick those up at these two booths here, and feel free to pause the video. You can see the pricing. As you'll see, Diamond Elite members get their regular access for free. There is a price to do the express, but this kind of shows you the tiers and how you get discounted depending on what membership or season pass you have. So right out here outside front of Boomerang, you can see that the train has been put back on the track. We were told by the park president during our last visit that this would be repainted, but that the train would not receive the soft harness restraints like you see at other parks. So it'll be interesting to see if they do any other work to potentially make this a smoother ride. Right here near the entrance of Roadrunner Express is the entrance to Slaughterhouse 6, another one of the park's haunted houses. Now this is the main entrance. The express entrance to this haunted house is actually right around this Acme Company store, so keep that in mind if you do purchase an express pass. Right here outside of Sundance Theater, where Creature Feature 2 plays, is a new brews booth. You can see they got rid of the roasted corn and you can get brews now. And this is where you can get some Fright Fest themed stuff, just so you can reference that. You don't get any kind of discount on alcohol because that's illegal. Right here in front of Yosemite Sam's Wacky Wagons is another Fright Fest express and regular pass purchase booth, and it's just happens to be right across from the Buried Alive haunted house here in Crack Axle Canyon. So the Arrival, of course, is here in Crack Axle Canyon at Whistle Stop. It is important to note that the little pathway under the awning to Thirsty Buffalo Saloon is a designated walkway if you would like to walk through here during that. Don't know how convenient that will be, but I guess we'll find out later tonight. Right here at the entrance of Goalie Washer, you can see that during the day the Goalie Washer Rapids ride operates in some blood red water, but then of course later on tonight the ride will close down and this will become home to the Blood Bayou Haunted Trail. So if you are wanting to ride Goalie Washer during Fright Fest, you do have that opportunity. You just got to do it during the day. Monster Mash Bash takes place here at Lone Star Lil's Amphitheater every night, and if you are a Diamond or Diamond Elite member, it is important to note that you meet here 45 minutes before showtime to enjoy your early preferred seating. Don't go over at the Spotsburg entrance. They will not let you in. You have to come over here, so please keep that in mind. And as we leave Crack Axle Canyon and make our way into Spotsburg, you run into the Aftermath Scare Zone. You can see that during the day you can walk through these scare zones. They're totally fine. There are some props around, but nothing too crazy. So I know a lot of people have been worried if they can bring their kids here during the day. I would say you're totally safe until about 6:30 each night. Of course, 7 o'clock is when the Arrival starts, but as you can see, good to go through here and some good photo ops for some people. And out here in front of DC Supervillain Swing, they've put up some photo ops of the DC villains. You can actually stand in front of these fun cutouts and get your picture taken. It's pretty cool. We're out here at the entrance to the Infected Scare Zone, which is new for 2019. You can see the alien up there. Also in the background is Rock Kill High School, which is one of the park's haunted houses. Just wanted to point out that here at Candy Storm, right before you get over to Rock Kill High School, is where you can purchase some haunted house passes. It is important to note that in the Infected Scare Zone, during the day there are some more gruesome sights, as you can see, and I guess maybe that's really it. You do have the spaceship over here, nothing really gruesome about that. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you're not into. As you can see, the crashed spaceship here in the Infected Scare Zone has been dressed up a little bit more to look a little more natural. They've added some things around the bottom make it look like it actually crashed into the blacktop. So we're gonna keep going because the last time we came here, we actually didn't take you all the way around the scare zone. And there are a couple other things. They've actually moved their school bus over next to Pete's Eats, and you can see there is an alien trying to make his way out of there. It's also kind of bloody. Here's a different angled view. You can see clawing his way out of the back of the bus. They said, go to the back of the bus. He said, no, I'm getting out, and that's what he's doing. It did start raining outside, so we decided to stop off at Pete's Eats for lunch. Got the double bacon cheeseburger with fries, and this might take the cake for the most inefficiently operated restaurant I've ever seen at a Six Flags. It's pretty scary back there. The rain has concluded and we are out here in front of Poltergeist in Rockville. This is actually the other end of the infected scare zone. You can see there's a meteorite with some nasty bug things coming out, and they even put an infected sign up, so that's pretty fun. As you swing around the side of Rockville High School, you end up in Circus Berserkus. Now, keep in mind that during the day, all of the clown-related stuff is out here, all the signage, all the props. But the one nice thing about this scare zone is that it's completely avoidable. You can get to the boardwalk by walking just onto the other side of Rockville High, so you don't really have to come through here. I know clowns are pretty sensitive for some people, so it's nice just to keep that in mind. And we're here in Spotsburg at the Wicked Hollow Scare Zone. You can see the creepy doll is back out. I hope they have a doll costume again. And then of course we have our big ogre thing. We are gonna have to go look in that little shed over there because I bet it's pretty nasty. So just a warning, I'm about to show y'all some pretty gory stuff. But no detail was spared on this little piece here where this rope climbing game normally is. That's it's pretty wild. Stepped into Studio 6F for a minute just to kind of show you the goods here. And these are sweaters. They say Fright Fest on the front. Here's another shirt that has really nothing to do with Fright Fest on it at all, along with this one. And these are running $17.99. They are perk specific at the bottom, but I mean they're all the same shirt. So they do have some different cups here. This is it's already on sale for some reason. It's $9.99, I guess. Fright Fest just started, so I don't know what's going on here. But that's fun. Yeah, so they have these at Over Texas too. I think these are new, which I actually kind of like this because it's got a theme park on the top of it. And the camera will never zoom on it. Oh, this is on clearance too, $7.98. This must have been from a time when they did cool merchandise.
Actually, this part.
Yeah. Gets a little more interesting on this wall. You can buy this shirt. They have this. These are all $13.98. This just must be old stuff that we've never seen before because it's all, I guess they just didn't sell it before. I don't know. The hoodie's fun, I guess. And you can buy some spooky pictures. How much are the spooky pictures? That is $12.99, also on clearance. So I'm assuming these are all just old shirts, I guess. Interesting. We leave Studio 6F and you run right into the entrance of Midnight Museum of the Macabre. I actually failed to show this to you guys last time we were here, but pretty obvious where the entrance is. And then of course each house does have the express and the regular line. So definitely a very fun house. This was a very nice addition last year. Super detailed and just a lot of really cool effects. I am really looking forward to going through this house again. Came back up to Texas State Square just because we couldn't not show you guys the Soul Harvest Scare Zone. As you can see, all the props are pretty much out during the day, but of course no monsters. It is fun to kind of walk through them during the day. You can really see the details because at night it does get substantially more difficult to do that. And since we're up in Los Festivales, we just wanted to give you a quick look at the Noches, I guess it's Noche de los Muertos set. You can see they put up a sign. Everything's covered. The show doesn't happen for quite a while, but we're looking forward to it. We actually walked into Kidsopolis to show you one of the kid-friendly options. This is where the Looney Tunes Trick or Treat Trail was last year, but as you can see, it's moved to Six Flags Hall, so we'll have to move our way over there and check it out. Alright folks, we're in Six Flags Hall, and this is where you can do your trick-or-treating. This only takes place during the day, but you can meet some Looney Tunes characters, get you some treats, and a great activity for the kids. Here's something they're handing out at front gate when you come in. There's 30% off a one-day dining deal, 30% off apparel, candy, and plush toys, and 30% off the games pass, and 30% off the paid attractions pass. I don't know how long this lasts, but looks like it's at least happening through Fright Fest. The first show we're going to watch today is Creature Feature 2, Monsters in Paradise.
And relax, boys, it's just a loose screw. Vacation! Everything's okay, 'cause I'm on vacation. In the summertime.
Put away the books, we're out of school. The weather's warm, but we're playing cool.
Celebrate! Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. I look funny, but so I'm making money. See, so yo world, I hope you're ready for me. So gather round, I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I drink up all the Hennessy you got on the shelf, so just let me introduce myself. The storms that made us evil takes its turn. The vampire returns.
And we're jumping right from Sundance Theater over to Teatro Fiesta for Noche de los Muertos, which is another brand new show. Next up, we're jumping right into Zaragoza Theater and watching House of Bones 2. This will probably be a lot like last year's show, but with some new songs. Back up to this booth to do our haunted house upgrade. I did get the express one-day pass. They do have the all-season express passes here. We showed you the pricing earlier. One thing one of my friends ran into is that because his pass is registered at a different park, he wasn't able to do the all-season upgrade, which is kind of stupid. So we've seen 3 of the shows so far. We got our haunted house pass. We actually are going to go see The Arrival now, and I did get permission from the park to do point of views of the haunted houses. So I'm going to throw in little clips here and there, but then we'll actually upload full videos of the haunted houses later on, kind of throughout the week and throughout the next couple weeks. So huge thank you to Fiesta Texas for approving us to do that. I'm really excited to show you guys these haunted houses. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. So the monsters are off the train. Where'd he go? Oh, we got fire shooting out. Fire shooting out of the train station. Oh, jeez. Uh-oh. Oh, yes. He's gonna punch him. That is a smart idea. You can't really do anything out here, so except stand here. That's kind of the downside to this. The monsters do make their way, kind of. Oh, there's an old guy with a knife. Senior citizens are scary. Oh. See some clowns up here. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. What does this clown have in its hands? That was fun. You guys see these big things on stilts? It's like a pumpkin guy and a scarecrow looking guy. Wow. Spooky. Oh, fire. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. It's pretty crazy. Good time. All right, folks, we're actually about to go into our first haunted house. I had to go back, make this video at home because things were moving so quickly, so crazy at the park, trying to get everything jammed into one night that I didn't actually have time to talk about where we were going next and what we were going to review. So the first house we're jumping into is Buried Alive, located in Crack Axle Canyon. Please keep in mind, the video is dark, there's kind of intense noises. We're not going to show every single second of the houses. We'll show you some of the highlights, some of our favorite parts, and most importantly, the parts that you can actually make out what's happening. We are going to have to figure out something in the future for these haunted house POVs because I don't think my GoPro cut it very well, but we have them. We'll share them with you. So enjoy Buried Alive. Oh my god. We just went over a bridge.
Oh wow, why? Why?
Oh, gross. Oh, jeez. The one thing I'll say about Buried Alive is that some of the special effects are working this year. When I went through it last year, maybe it was just a fluke, but the very beginning effect didn't work, and that's kind of the highlight of this house. There weren't really a lot of scare actors in there, unfortunately, but the ambiance of the house, the theming of the house was very detailed, and I'm glad to see that they've kept that theming around. Next up, we're actually going to just cross the pathway and go down a little bit to Slaughterhouse 6, so enjoy.
Get to work, woman! Come on!
Slaughterhouse 6 was a lot of fun. The scare actors inside were very into it. They were telling a story by the way they were acting, the way they were approaching you. There's lots of loud noises, lots of crazy flashing lights. So they really mess with a lot of senses in there. It all kind of just happens really quickly. Definitely had a good time inside Slaughterhouse 6. Next up, we're going to go the opposite way down the pathway to the park's only outdoor haunted house, which is Blood Bayou. This takes place in the Gully Washer queue line, as said before. It's actually a much longer haunted house, so enjoy.
You will blink sooner or later. I say, hello everyone, welcome to Camp Blood Bayou. Police, I want everybody to stay on the side of the fence.
Blood Bayou Haunted Trail is definitely more of an ambiance kind of house, or I guess you should say haunted trail. The scare actors don't necessarily have great places to hide, but that's okay because it's still a lot of fun. It's still very adventurous. There's definitely some parts where it's kind of hard to see. They do some cool lighting tricks, so I would still recommend it just because it is a more unique experience. Next up is actually going to be a couple of scare zones, and then we'll jump back into our next house. Alright folks, it's time to walk through the Aftermath scare zone. Plenty of regular guests who think they're scary too. See tons of fog, but you can see Joker through the fog, so that's kind of fun. They are trying to do the aerial laser projection situation in here, which is cool. Lots of fire. It's just a little windy, so that doesn't always work when it's windy. Let's see if we can find some creatures. Where are the creatures? Maybe they're in this tunnel. What do you guys think? Are you guys scared yet? Oh, that was really hot. Look at this guy. There's a scare actor. Just hanging out, you know, having a good night. It got very bright in this tunnel. Alright folks, here we go through the Wicked Hollow Scare Zone. Let's see see what kind of trouble we can find. So far, the scariest thing is the amount of people in here. There's a wolf guy. You can see in this beautiful thing that we showed you earlier today, nice and lit up, so you can see that stick coming out of their throat. Oh, there's somebody. And of course we can't leave without you seeing this guy. Pretty awesome. Not much scaring going on in here though. They do have monsters though. So. Alright, next we're going to go into the Midnight Museum of the Macabre Haunted House. Very short haunted house, opened last year, but this house is incredibly detailed. So it was great to see the special effects still working in this house 1 year later. They've definitely taken care of everything. Kind of the benefit of having all of these permanent houses around the park. And I love the floor effect. I don't want to spoil everything for y'all in case you haven't been in the houses. And some of the monsters in there, their makeup and their costuming was great. And of course, there's just all of the crazy stuff to look at. You could walk through this house 5 times and still find something new and bizarre each visit, so I highly recommend this house. All right, we've got to walk through another scare zone to get to the Rockville section of the park. We're at the entrance of the infected scare zone, and this meteor that crashed in front of Poltergeist is actually glowing. So that's pretty fun, right? All right, let's make our way through the rest of the infected scare zone. We've got this bus where the aliens are breaking out. It's very foggy. Just got asked a really bizarre question, and now we will continue. Haven't seen any monsters in this scare zone. It's just a bus. And I'm excited to see this spaceship for sure. We're coming up on the crashed spaceship. And they're playing copyrighted music, so that's cool. spaceship is also fogging. It just crashed after all, right? So, actually very cool. Oh, there's a scare actor up here. Here we go. Now we're in business. Oh, she's chasing people. Oh, jeez. Oh, here's a guy. Oh, jeez. He's got something coming out of his face. Oh, that guy's got something coming out of his face, too. There's this alien all lit up, all nice. Yeah, this alien up here, of course, up top. Here's a guy. What's he doing? He's just wandering. Where's it going? He's wandering pretty far. Wandering pretty far, I don't know. Next up, we're going into Rock Kill High School. Of course, this happens in the Rockville High Theater. Very unique because they actually built a haunted house on the stage. So you're walking through a detailed haunted house that's actually themed to a specific thing in the park, which I personally love. So let's head right into the doors of Rock Kill High.
Get the going, man.
Okay. All right. I wish I was still a kid. I don't know if that's a person or a... We'll probably find out right now. He's having a bad day. Definitely still one of my top 2 favorite haunted houses at the park. It might actually be my favorite, and Midnight Museum of the Macabre is probably my second favorite. Detailed all around. There were a good amount of monsters in there as well, all really playing the part of being a zombie in this high school, and I definitely got scared a couple times, to say the least. So I'm not really startled by the content, but I do get startled when someone is really good at hiding and jumping out and getting me, so I really appreciate the fact that they were achieving this very well in this house. There is another haunted house, Carnival 3D, on the Boardwalk. Unfortunately, when I attempted to film that, the filming didn't come out good at all. As you can see, it was already kind of rough for some of the houses. But I will say, it is an interesting experience. If you have any questions about any of the haunted houses, please ask me in the comments below. I know some people have weird tics that they don't like, so if you need further details about what's in the houses, what to expect, I'd love to answer that for you. Here is the Circus Berserkers scare zone. You can see they have some fog-filled bubbles and some clowns on stilts. Look at this clown. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. There's another clown on stilts over here. I don't know how well you can see that. Look at him face. Oh, it's pretty crazy. Alright, y'all, it's time for Monster Mash Bash.
Come on, come on. Welcome to the freak show. Welcome to the freak show. Dead love status quo. Hope you enjoy the ride. Welcome to the freak show. We got haunted neighborhoods. We ain't afraid and we ain't buying a lie. What you doing tonight? Well, have you heard that the world's got crazy? Young Americans, listen when I say these people putting us down. I know they're saying that we've got lazy. To tell you the truth, we all bad
And buried in your bones there's an ache that you can't ignore. In your breath, stealing your mind, and all that is real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see it's getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's blood and open. It's a picture in the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brink of every wall that's holding on that you know. Tell me, do you wanna go?
Alright folks, that's going to do it for this visit to Fright Fest. It was really fun. We had a really great time, and first of all, it was awesome to see the Arrival come back, and the new shows were a lot of fun. I think Creature Feature 2, Monsters in Paradise and Sundance Theater, is honestly my favorite new show of the year. It had a lot of comedy, there was a lot of dialogue, and I'm really into that. So I highly recommend it. Just keep in mind it is kind of hot out there, but if you catch the second show at 7 p.m., it does definitely cool down a little bit. The sun kind of goes away. Of course, the brand new show in Teatro Fiesta was great. It's always great to highlight the band because the band members at Fiesta Texas are multi-talented, just like the rest of the performers, so it's great to see them shine. Mash Bash definitely took on a new theme this year. I actually really appreciated it, and there was a more set theme to this one, and they definitely took some risks with some of the stuff, and I love that. It's theater, it's entertainment, it's supposed to be thought-provoking, so I really appreciated it, and everyone in the show did a fantastic job. I can't really say that anything really changed in the haunted houses. If they did, it was very small stuff. But I'm not saying you shouldn't try them out. I had a lot of fun. I definitely like Midnight Museum of the Macabre, and I like Rock Hill High School. And Slaughterhouse 6 is honestly a close third in my book. So really not a bad experience in any of the houses. I just think that really nothing changed from them from last year. So if you're expecting more, then I can tell you that's really not happening. I loved all of the brand new, huge, incredible props that they have in the scare zones. The infected props, the brand new, huge monster that they have in Spotsburg in the Wicked Hollow scare zone. They're all just really incredible. And it's awesome to know that there's people working in the park that are building these. And you guys are crazy talented. It's super awesome. I will say that it doesn't really seem like there's more or less monsters in the scare zones than last year or the years prior. So if you're looking for the ultimate scare, I personally don't feel like that's happening in these zones, but I do love that they have amped up all of the theming. It looks great. We will be back out at Fright Fest at some point this year. There will be some live shows exclusives for the new shows in the park, so stay tuned for those. If y'all have any questions about Fright Fest, please ask in the comments below. And of course, we have our huge Fright Fest 2019 guide at sfftsource.com. That's located in the description. There's tips, tricks, haunted house pricing, details, pictures, media, really anything you could want explained to you is going to be on that website. And of course, if you have some kind of bizarre or new question that we haven't covered, like I said, please ask. We thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon at a theme park.
Composing of burlesque, where they wash their necks, sunken in the split cradle and ramshackled. They ask for rent as a girl who has such a heart of haunting me forever.